Yeah, good morning, team. There are few problems which are happening in US for which our markets are also correcting. Very important is it is not only one single bank, Silicon Valley Bank. There are few other banks which have gone, which have been hit very badly, and there are few companies which have exposure there. So we need to see that also. But one thing we need to recollect: India is in a very strong position. Now you take our reserves, we are almost $560 billion reserve, and our export data, if you take trade data plus IT services, we should be having a minimum surplus. It's not a very big surplus, but we should be ending surplus. So we don't have any major impact from this, but the impact will be stock specific. So now let us look at few stocks. Nazara Tech. Now, they announced in the exchange that the subsidiary held 64 crores in SVB Bank, negative or Nazara Tech. Two subsidiaries have been holding some deposit there. So, but anyway, Fed in the overnight meeting, they said all deposits will be repaid. So I don't think we will have any major impact. But all these new age stock or the new listings will have some impact, because most of the PE funds are in trouble. So I was reading somewhere that Blackstone wants to sell stake in many of the Indian entities they hold. One such case will be Sona BLW, where they have almost 20.5% stake in the company. So they, as a cleanup trade, the floor price could be around 400. That is what CNBC has reported in their website. So like that, wherever these PE funds or startup ecosystem is there, there will be some pressure. Paytm has come out and said SVB Bank, the Silicon Valley Bank, doesn't hold any stake now. Previously they were holding, but they have exited. So they don't have it now, is what they have said. But there might be many companies where Silicon Valley Bank or other banks will be having stakes, and even BlackRock will be having stake, and they will come and sell. This is slightly negative for market. Otherwise, our banking system is robust. Whatever has happened in US will not impact us, except for liquidity in some funds drying up, and that will have some temporary impact, but the impact will be for few weeks or 1 or 2 months, not more than that. Mahindra to sell 4.6% stake in Mahindra CIE via block deal. Floor price should be around 255 per share, and Mahindra would get 615 crores from the deal. And the total Mahindra is holding is 9.25% stake at the December end. And very soon, everything will go, and Mahindra CIE will become CIE Automation. So it is a multinational company. So Mahindra will not have any stake, but most of the manufacturing for Mahindra will be done by CIE Automation. There was one report, very interesting report. Chemical demand in 2021 was 170 to 180 billion. This is McKinsey report. And by 2040, it will be 850 to 1,000 billion. So chemical as a sector over a period of time will have very good positive impact from this. LIC, Mr. M.R. Kumar tenure ends today, that is 13th of March 2023, after which Siddhartha Mohanty would be the interim chairman. He is the current MD, so he will have additional charge as chairman. Defense Ministry is also finalizing 15,000 crore plus deal for 200 more BrahMos for Navy and even for Air Force. So this is something positive. So we like defense related stock. Any correction in defense related stock will be an opportunity. We have been talking about HAL, BDL. Now BDL is a missile company for the nation. HAL has also got orders. So I think these two stocks should be watched in. Yes Bank lock-in period, which is 3 years, is ending now. When like what happened to SVB, Silicon Valley Bank. 3 years back, S Bank was in a similar situation. During that time, many banks came together to bail out S Bank. Now it included State Bank of India, Axis Bank, IDFC First Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC, Kotak Bank, and LIC. Now, where their shares 25% they can sell it in the market immediately. 75% the lock-ins ends today. So very soon there will be a pressure on S Bank. S Bank, after this capital infusion from 480 crores, their share capital has become 5,000 crores, which is huge. So this is something to get noticed. So after the lock-in, I think some banks would like to sell and capitalize on that. It depends on the pricing also. Wellcorp subsidiary has received multiple export order for 43 kmt of pig iron across Southeast Asia and Europe. Execution will be in the next 2 months. Lupin informed exchanges of completion of pre-approval and GMP inspection by US FDA from 6 March to 10th March 2023 with no observation in API manufacturing facility in Vizag. ICICI Lombard has got an extension for 18 months now, and the exemption is for ICICI Bank. They have to bring their stake below 30%. So there has been some leeway given to them. They in 18 months they have to do it. IFGL announced commercial production has started at company's new precast product plant at its Visakhapatnam facility. So it will increase their precast product to 8,400 metric ton per annum. The capex costed them 16.5 crores. IEX commences trade on high price power trading. So 1 day in advance they have done it. So this should be positive. Thermax has entered the green hydrogen market in partnership with Fortescue Future Industries. So it is a new manufacturing facility they will set up in India. So this is positive for Thermax. Thermax already has done for grey hydrogen. For green hydrogen, they have done a tie-up. Even Tata Power Renewable Energy signs a PPA for 510 megawatt hybrid project with the Delhi unit of Tata Power, Delhi Distribution Limited. 170 megawatt will be solar and 340 will be wind power. Car trade, there is a rumor which was there in many papers that car trade to close Go Mechanic for possible deal of 250 crores. This deal should go through in, this deal was after 2 months, Go Mechanic admitted to fudging of accounts. So this is a fire sale, which they have said. But car trade to the exchange has said yesterday that no, we are in talks with multiple people, but whatever the media has reported, it is more of a rumor, they have said. OneWeb launches 40 more satellites total, taking their total to 582 satellites. This OneWeb is owned by Bharati Enterprises along with UK and France government, and their target is to have 648 satellites. We are very positive on Bharati Airtel for a long-term perspective. So any correction would be an opportunity to buy that. With that, over to you, team.
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। अभी हम लोग ये कॉल को एक बार हिंदी में कर लेते हैं। फिनोलेक्स इंडस्ट्री ने कमर्शियल ऑपरेशन में पीवीसी फिटिंग्स का वो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैसिलिटी पुणे में वो स्टार्ट कर दिया है 12 मार्च से, और उनकी जो एनुअल कैपेसिटी है फैसिलिटी की वो 12,000 MT है, और ये कैपेक्स से टुवर्ड्स द सेम अप्रोक्सीमेटली 100 करोड़ का है। जाइडस लाइफ साइंस कंपनी है, उनको यूएस एफडीए से नॉड मिला है मैन्युफैक्चरर मार्केट ओलानजेपनी और ओरली डिसइंटीग्रेटिंग टैबलेट्स का, जो यूएसपी है 5, 10, 15 mg एंड 20 mg। ये ड्रग बेसिकली यूज होता है और क्योर करने के लिए शाइजोप्रेनिया और बाइपोलर डिसऑर्डर। देन गोदरेज प्रॉपर्टी कंपनी है, उन्होंने अक्वायर किया है नियरली 20 एकर्स लैंड बेंगलुरु में, जो डेवलप करेंगे मिक्स यूज प्रोजेक्ट, जो कंपेरिज करेंगे अपार्टमेंट एज वेल एज उनके जो रिटेल डेवलपमेंट है उसके लिए। प्रोजेक्ट जो लोकेटेड है वो नियर व्हाइटफील्ड आउटर रिंग रोड में है। देन डीएलएफ कंपनी है, उन्होंने बोला है कि वो एडवांस स्टेज में है, उनका जो कंप्लीशन है सेकंड कमर्शियल प्रोजेक्ट डीएलएफ डाउनटाउन का, और अराउंड आउटलेट जो है वो 3200 करोड़ का है चेन्नई में। और डीएलएफ इसके अलावा रेसिडेंशियल प्रोजेक्ट भी देख रहा है, जो एक्सपेक्टेड है कम अप होंगे अप्रोक्स मद्रास रेस कोर्स 6 एकड़ लैंड में। देन नेक्स्ट अपडेट है टेक महिंद्रा के ऊपर, जो मोहित जोशी है वो पहले इंफोसिस के साथ एसोसिएटेड थे, वो उन्होंने 6 इयर्स प्रेसिडेंट वहाँ पे टाइम फ्रेम स्पेंड किया है। कंपनी अभी मतलब कंपनी उनके जो फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज, इंश्योरेंस, हेल्थ केयर, लाइफ साइंस की जो वर्टिकल्स में उनका एक्सपीरियंस है वो यूज करेगी, और ये वर्टिकल्स टेक महिंद्रा में ग्रो करेगी अराउंड सीएजीआर 10% से हुआ है ड्यूरिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर 18 से लेके फाइनेंशियल ईयर 22 में। करंटली अराउंड 39% ओवरऑल रेवेन्यू आता है $6 बिलियन का रेवेन्यू में से। और इसके अलावा जो सेल्स टीम है 2000 प्लस के अराउंड है, मोर देन 11% टोटल सेल्स टीम है, और वो रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगी जो लास्ट डील है वो विन करने के लिए। करंटली क्वार्टर थ्री फाइनेंशियल ईयर 23 में जो 32 लास्ट डील थी उसमें से 6 जो है वो साइन हुई है फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज वर्टिकल से, और 2 है लाइफ साइंस से, विच इज अराउंड 40% है। नेक्स्ट अपडेट है इंडसइंड बैंक के ऊपर। आरबीआई ने अप्रूव किया है जो सुमित कटापलिया है उनको रीअपॉइंट के लिए एमडी और सीईओ के लिए इंडसइंड बैंक के लिए, और उसका एक्सटेंशन पीरियड पहले बोला गया था, न्यूज में आ रहा था कि वो 3 इयर्स होगा, बट अभी आरबीआई ने वो 2 इयर्स के लिए एक्सटेंड किया है। तो ये अभी इफेक्ट होगा मार्च 24 से, और ये सेकेंड टर्म होगा सुमित का एमडी और एज ए सीईओ से, और उनका जो करियर बैंकर और उनका जो ओवरऑल एक्सपीरियंस है वो 3 डिकेड्स का है। तो ये एक पॉजिटिव होगा बैंक के लिए। करंटली स्टॉक के ऊपर लॉन्ग टर्म टाइम फ्रेम से बाय रेटिंग है। देन एसवीबी बैंक, एसवीबी सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक एंड आईटी एक्सपोजर के रिलेटेड अपडेट है। टीसीएस और माइंट्री है, उन्होंने क्लियरिफाई कर दिया है कि उनका कोई भी मटेरियल एक्सपोजर नहीं है सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक में, और अदर जो बैंक्स है जैसे कि सिग्नेचर बैंक्स है उनमें भी कोई ऐसे जो हमारे जो कवरेज कंपनी है आईटी रिलेटेड उसका कोई भी एक्सपोजर नहीं है। बट ऐसे रिपब्लिक बैंक है जो कस्टमर बैंक ऑफ न्यूयॉर्क कम्युनिटी की फर्स्ट फाउंडेशन है, और हमारा बिलीफ है कि ये थोड़ा स्लो डाउन करेगा टेक स्पेंड के लिए, और जो इसका इम्पैक्ट है वो बीएफएसआई और आईटी के जो कंपनीज है उसके ग्रोथ पे होगा। तो ये जो है हम लोग अभी बिलीव करते हैं कि ये लार्ज कैप इन्फोसिस और टीसीएस के साथ आप लॉन्ग टर्म टाइम फ्रेम से बने रहना है। देन इंडियन होटल के ऊपर अपडेट है, कंपनी ने उनका फर्स्ट जिंजर होटल चंडीगढ़ में जिराकाब में ओपन किया है। होटल जो डेवलप होगा पार्टनरशिप में डिलॉन ग्रुप के साथ, और इंडस्ट्री हाउसिंग जो नॉर्थ इंडियन है वो उसका प्रेजेंस अक्रॉस मल्टीपल सेक्टर्स में है, उसमें इंक्लूडिंग रिटेल है, रियल एस्टेट है, एंटरटेनमेंट है, आईटी है, केमिकल है, और अमंग अदर सेक्टर्स भी है। करंटली स्टॉक के ऊपर बाय रेटिंग है और टारगेट प्राइस 371 है। देन हिंदुस्तान एरोनॉटिक कंपनी है, उनके जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस है उन्होंने प्रोक्योर किया है 6 डोनियर 228 क्राफ्ट एयरक्राफ्ट इंडियन एयरफोर्स के लिए कंपनी से, और ये इसकी जो वैल्यू है 667 करोड़ है। देन नेक्स्ट अपडेट है, अभी बहुत सारे यूएस में प्रॉब्लम्स चल रहे हैं, उसमें एक है कि मतलब जो अभी सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक है, एसवीबी बैंक है, वो जो उसके ऊपर अपडेट आया है, उसके अलावा बहुत सारे बैंक है उसमें भी थोड़ा बहुत प्रॉब्लम है, तो ये एक बैडली हिट कर रहा है। और हमारे जो इंडिया अभी स्ट्रांग इस पे है क्योंकि उनका इंडिया का अराउंड 5.6 बिलियन रिजर्व है, और ट्रेड डिफिसिट देखे तो वो मिनिमम सरप्लस में है, तो मेजर इम्पैक्ट इसमें नहीं होगा, हार्डली ये मंथ के लिए और वीक के लिए होगा, फिर उसके बाद थोड़ा बहुत स्टेबलाइज हो जाएगा। बट स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक जो बोलते हैं तो इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है, जैसे कि नजारा टेक्नोलॉजी उन्होंने एक्सचेंज में डिक्लेयर किया है कि उनका 64 करोड़ एसवीबी बैंक में है एक्सपोजर है, तो वो निगेटिव रहेगा। उनके जो सब्सिडरी 2 सब्सिडरी का है तो ये निगेटिव रहेगा। बट फेड बैंक ने जो डिपॉजिट्स है उसके लिए रीपे के लिए अनाउंसमेंट कर दिया है। इसके अलावा पी फंड्स जो है वो थोड़े बहुत ट्रबल्स में, जैसे कि ब्लैकस्टोन ने बोला है कि उनके जो स्टेक सेल है इंडिया में कोई कोई कंपनी में वो सेल करना चाहते हैं, तो उसमें सोनाकॉम है, उनका कुछ अराउंड 20.5% का है, अराउंड 400 रुपीज पे कुछ वो सेल करेंगे। ये ऐसे सीएनबीसी का रिपोर्ट था। स्टार्टअप और इकोसिस्टम है, थोड़ा बहुत उनको भी स्टेक सेल करना है। पेटीएम ने भी अपडेट दिया है कि उनका मतलब एसबीआई बैंक का पेटीएम में कोई भी स्टेक नहीं है। ब्लैक रॉक जो कंपनी है उनका स्टेक है, वो भी सेल करेंगे। ये टेम्पररी इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है, जैसे मैंने पहले भी बोला, थोड़े फ्यू वीक्स के लिए और मंथ्स के लिए, उसके बाद ये स्टेबलाइज होगा। बट इंडिया का ओवरऑल हम लोग प्रेजेंस देखे तो स्ट्रांग है। देन नेक्स्ट अपडेट है जो एमएनएम जो कंपनी है, वो स्टेक सेल करने वाली है 4.6 महिंद्रा सीआई में से, ब्लॉक डील से, और उसकी जो फ्लोर प्राइस है वो 355 पर शेयर के अराउंड कुछ है। देन केमिकल का हम लोग रिपोर्ट देखे तो 2021 में कुछ 180 बिलियन का ये था, और अभी आगे जाके 2040 में अराउंड 850 से लेके 1000 बिलियन होगा, तो ये पॉजिटिव रहेगा। देन नेक्स्ट अपडेट है येस बैंक जो कंपनी है, उसका जो लॉक इन पीरियड था लास्ट मतलब 3 इयर्स में देखे तो सेम सिचुएशन में थी एसवीबी बैंक की तरह येस बैंक भी। तब बहुत सारे कंपनी बैंक्स ने उनको हेल्प की थी ये बाहर निकलने में, तो उसका जो 75% लॉकिंग पीरियड था 75%, तो वो आज मतलब खत्म हो रहा है, तो ये प्रेशर थोड़ा बहुत बैंक के ऊपर देखने मिलेगा। देन नेक्स्ट अपडेट है वेलक्रॉप जो कंपनी, उनको मल्टीपल ऑर्डर्स मिले थे और उसका जो एग्जीक्यूशन है वो नेक्स्ट 2 मंथ्स में होगा। देन नेक्स्ट अपडेट है कार ट्रेड के ऊपर र्यूमर आया था कि वो मशीन मैकेनिक का डील करने वाले हैं, बट उन्होंने एक्सचेंज पे अपडेट किया है कि वो बहुत सारी कंपनी के साथ बात कर रहे हैं, तो उसके बाद ही वो अपडेट देंगे। वन वेब जो कंपनी है वो सैटेलाइट के लिए लॉन्च कर रही है। ये ओन जो कंपनी है वन वेब वो ओन बाय है भारतीय एंटरप्राइजेस, तो भारतीय एयरटेल के ऊपर हमारा लॉन्ग टर्म व्यू पॉजिटिव है। देन नेक्स्ट अपडेट है हमारा लुपिन के ऊपर। लुपिन जो कंपनी है उनको यूएसएफडीए से कंप्लीट इंस्पेक्शन, जो लुपिन वीजा फैसिलिटी है, नो ऑब्जर्वेशन वो मिला है। देन आईएक्स जो कंपनी है उनका जो कमन स्ट्रेट होने वाला हाई प्राइस डे मतलब मार्केट पे। देन आईसीआईसी लंबार्ड है, उनको अप्रूवल मिला है बैंक का जो रिक्वेस्ट है एक्सटेंशन का सितंबर 9 तक 2024 तक। जो डाइन्वेस्ट करेंगे उनका शेयर होल्डिंग आईसीआईसी लंबार्ड जनरल इंश्योरेंस कंपनी से।
Technical and derivatives outlook. So during the last week, we saw that there was a selling in the market, and Nifty almost came till the lows of 17,324, and then it has seen some good amount of bounce. So technically, if you look at the chart pattern, then it has respected the previous low, which was at 17,255, and the immediate low was 17,325, and then there was a bounce. So I believe there was a gap on Friday's session, and that gap is close to 17,573. So I sense that gap might be filled during the week, and there will be slightly positive bias. So net is a range bound kind of a view within 17,200 and 17,800. That would be the range for the Nifty for the current week. So a slightly positive trading bounce can be expected. Same with the Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty was down by 1.5%, and even Bank Nifty has seen a low at 40,341. So what I looking at the chart pattern, I think even the Bank Nifty, which there was a gap on Friday, so that gap can be filled. So net the range for the Bank Nifty is 39,800 on the lower side and 41,500 on the higher side. So beside this, on a cautious note, we are looking at the VIX chart. So VIX, the trading range is 12 and 15. So that is the range for the VIX, and currently the close is 13.41. So anytime if VIX crosses 15 on the higher side, then we need to be bit cautious, because if that happens, then there can be some pressure on the market, and market may see further correction. So we need to keep a close watch on the VIX, which is at 13.5 or 13.41. Range bound view for the market. And same with the if you check on the derivatives outlook. So Nifty futures have witnessed a short build-up to the tune of 4.64%, which is the addition of 0.62 million shares. The put call ratio was up by 0.85 to 0.89, which has added slightly strength to the PCR ratio. The major call additions were seen in the 17,500 and 17,700 call options. So that will be the resistance. On the lower side, 17,400 and then 17,300. So that should be the support. Coming to Bank Nifty has seen a short build-up in Friday's session to the tune of 1.21%, which is an addition of 0.06 million shares. The put call ratio actually declined from 0.88 to 0.66, which is little bit of a weakness. The major additions in the call option were seen at 40,500 call option. So that would be the resistance. And even in the put option also, we are seeing the same strike price, 40,500 put option. So mostly it is a straddle kind of thing. So net, beside this, the sectors which we are looking at the CNX auto. So I think auto would be the one, if market remains sideways, auto will see some amount of bounce from the current level. Pharma is the one space which has been correcting one way. So now it has basically come to the supports level. So we are not saying some pharma there will be a positional buy, but we can expect some trading kind of bounce in the pharma stocks. PSU banks continues to remain the strong bet. Bank of Baroda and SBI is something which we do like. And then if we talk of the private banks we believe can remain in the range for the current week. Lastly, on the FI data, so FI and index future again shorted on the Friday session, and this long short ratio has come to 16.16%. So we need to keep a watch on that. So that's all from man. Hand out to Vishal sir for more updates. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. To start up with news flow, first is on Tech Mahindra. So on a positive side, Mohit Joshi has been gotten a new position in Tech Mahindra of running the company as a CEO. And if you look at Mohit Joshi was associated with Infi for 22 years, where he has spent last 6 years as a president. And he used to look at financial services, insurance, and health business. Now, he used to lead a team of around 2,000 plus, which is around 11% of total sales volume. And overall, this is positive development for Tech Mahindra. Eventually, after many months with a lot of deliberation, which was there, who will be running the show. Now, a new person has joined Tech. Next on IndusInd Bank, which is again a positive news flow, which is RBI has approved a reappointment of Mr. Sumant Katapalia as MD and CEO of IndusInd for a period of 2 years, as against a 3 years sought by bank. This as a career point of view, I think Mr. Katapalia experience ranges for more than 3 odd decades. He was earlier associated with major national and international banks such as City Union, Bank of America, ABN AMRO. And we believe this is positive for the bank, and we'll continue to have a buy rating on the stock with a target price of 1,630. Next is on IHCL, so positive news flow, which is IHCL announced the opening up of its first Ginger Hotel in Chandigarh at Zirakpur. The hotel is developed in partnership with the Dillon Group, with the industrial house in northern India, and which again as a group has a presence in multiple sectors. On IHCL, we have a buy rating on the stock with a target price of 371. Next is on Hindustan Aeronautic, again a positive news flow, which is Ministry of Defence will procure 6 Dornier 228 aircraft from IAF, and for the price of 667, which is positive. Overall, I think within the defense space, the PLI scheme and the procurement from a domestic entity is posing well for all most of the defense player, including HAL, which is positive. Next, if you look at, there has been news flow in Ambuja Cement, wherein there has been multiple news flow in Ambuja Cement, wherein one news flow highlight promoter has fully repaid the share back debt a month ahead of the time, and further there's a news flow that GQG partner may be picking up stake in Adani Cement. However, I think though the stocks of Adani, including Ambuja Cement, has fallen quite a bit, but we understand there's a lack of clarity in terms of news flow which is coming in from this particular group. So I think given that we still retain our preference for Ultratech in the cement sector. Next is on Bharat Forge, which is a neutral development. So Bharat Forge has announced the amalgamation of analogic control system into KSSL, which is wholly owned subsidiary. And this move is in a bit to house all its defense-related business operation in KSSL. Now, I think if you look at this company, Bharat Forge has been doing this particular consolidation of the defense group in one particular entity, which though in terms of like, immediate basis is neutral, but again, there could be some bit of announcement in terms of a stake sale in a particular entity, because eventually defense as a sector, what we are seeing is like, it has been quite buzzing, and Bharat Forge could, I mean, like, on opportunity basis can capitalize on this particular thing. And then last thing from my side is on SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, and IT exposure. And TCS and Mindtree have clarified they don't have a material exposure in Silicon Valley Bank. Now, I think if you look at, you would have seen media reports that another bank closure, which is like Signature Bank based out of New York, it has seen a closure of this business after SVB. However, I think none of our coverage company have exposure to the bank. Now, there are a couple of banks like First Republic, Customer Bank of New York Community, which are vulnerable. Now, what we understand is like, from IT point of view, tech spend, which was coming from the BFSI, could see a weakness. And that doesn't bode well for the BFSI largest segment. I think there could be a weakness out of that in the market, and till the time the clarity doesn't emerges. But one thing is like, which is more from a stock point of view, I think given this weakness, at least in the next, I mean, like, 3 to 6 odd months, we still find like, large cap will be better off, Infosys and TCS, given there's the uncertainty. But I think this particular period will also see a turnaround in terms of mid and small. So I think there's still some time for that, but at least one can keep a watch on mid and small for any major weakness. But yes, till the time the clarity doesn't emerge, I think the large cap and the defensive will be better off in this particular current environment. Yeah, so that's all from my side, and I'll hand it to the team now. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. We'll continue with more further of the starting with Finolex Industries. Company said it has started with commercial operation of PVC fittings at a manufacturer's facility in Pune from 5th month. The annual capacity of the flat facility is 12,000 metric ton, and capex toward the same is approximately 100 crores. Secondly, Zydus Life Sciences said it has received a major US FDA nod for the manufacture market Olacentin orally disintegrating tablets, USP in the variants of 5, 10, 15, 20 mg. The drug is used to cure schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. DLF said that the ELD firm is in advanced stage of its completing second commercial project, DLF Downtown, at an outlay of 3,200 crore in Chennai. Besides, the DLF is also looking at a residential project expected to come up adjacent to Madras Racecourse in Delhi on a 6-acre land parcel. Similarly, Godrej Properties also acquired a land parcel of nearly 28 acres in Bangalore to develop a mixed-use project which comprises of apartments as well as retail development. The project is located near Whitefield and Outer Ring Road. Lastly, with Vedanta, the global rating agency Moody has downgraded the Vedanta's rating currently from B3 to C level on increasing the refinancing risk surrounding the holding company. Overall, the outlook remains negative as the company company's refinancing efforts and reliance on the dividend receipts continue to deplete liquidity at the operating subsidiaries.